You've been making beats and now you want to invest in your equipment. You want to take this seriously, but you don't know which equipment matters the most. You don't know which to start with. Well, let me try help you. Let's get to the video. It's your boy Cgnature.
Rather use my words than to fist fight.
Hey, what's good? It's your boy Cgnature. Welcome back to another video. So in today's video, we're talking about studio equipment. So if you've been making beats or you want to get into making beats and you don't know which equipment to buy, like you want to buy your own studio equipment, but you don't know what's what, or better yet, which equipment to start with first, today we're talking about all of that. So first on the list has to be a computer. Get yourself a computer and preferably a laptop. It doesn't matter whether it's a Mac or a PC laptop. It doesn't really matter whether it's Mac or a Windows. Get you whatever you prefer. But preferably a laptop with not less than 8 gigs. Because with most plugins nowadays, you need the RAM like to really enjoy making your beats without any distractions. So get you a minimum 8 gig RAM laptop. And for a processor, get you a basic minimum of, say, maybe an i5 Intel processor if you choose that, or a Ryzen 5 if you choose that. It doesn't really matter. And then secondly on the list has to be the most important one. I don't know why I didn't put this one on number one, but it's a DAW, which stands for a digital audio workstation. So the most common ones, it's FL Studio, Logic, and Ableton. Now, FL Studio is more, its biggest strength is for making beats, especially your hip hop, R&B, and trap, rap type stuff. FL Studio is the way for making beats. Unless you want to make like your live ethnic type beats, then for live, everything live, you can go for Ableton. Ableton is very boss when it comes to that. And then for sort of a hybrid for the two, you can choose a Logic Pro, but choose one that's very interesting, very pleasing for you, or even if it looks aesthetically pleasing for you, you just like the whole interface, choose it. Take that, because if it's interesting to you, it's most likely to be one that you're quick to learn and very much enjoy working on. So choose one that works for you. It's good. None is best from the other. Just choose yours. And then the next one has to be monitors. When you buy monitors, make sure you don't get anything below 5 inches, because personally, I think 3-inch speakers don't really have good or any bass response for that matter. So choose a 5-inch going up, whichever you can afford. But also keep in mind that monitors are influenced by the space that you're working in. So if you have a very small basement studio, then just stick to getting 5-inch speakers. But if you have an open space that can take the speakers, then maybe consider buying 8-inch speakers. You'll get a very good response, good highs, good lows. And the most common speakers that you find in most studios, the first one has to be maybe KRK, Rockets, Mackie speakers, Yamaha, Genelex. The list is endless, but I'd advise that when you go to buy studio monitors, make it a point that you get a high quality favorite song of yours, go with it to the shop, and then ask them to allow you to put that song and preview it on each and every one of those speakers. Then choose the one that sounds good to you. Don't buy a speaker because you just saw it on so-and-so's studio equipment list, or you saw it on someone's studio, a professional studio you once went to, you saw these speakers, so now you have to buy this specific brand. Choose ones that sound good to you, that are good for you, or ones that you can afford but still sound good to you. All right? And then next on the list has to be a sound card. Now, a sound card is a device where you connect not only just your studio monitors into, it also powers your microphone, your guitar. So invest in a good sound card. Luckily, sound cards nowadays aren't expensive, so you can easily get a cheap one with high quality. Like there are many brands for starters, like M Audio, Focusrite, Behringer. It's a lot, but one that I can highly recommend that from personal experience, it's a Focusrite 2i2. You can get that. I think it has low to no latency at all, so which is very good for your recordings. So get that one. And I think it also comes in a bundle. And in that bundle, you get headphones, a microphone, cable, the sound card. Don't even get lost in the number of inputs and outputs, because some get expensive because they have a lot of inputs. But when you're working in a personal studio, you don't really need that many inputs. Maybe 2 inputs, 2 outputs are good for you. Like with mine, for example, it powers 2 microphones, 2 guitars, then 2 monitors at the back. Now, yes, I use the 2 inputs for monitors, like the output for monitors. I use that. But when it comes to the 2 microphone inputs, I've still been using one till today. I only use 1 mic. Maybe in the future I'll use both. But I've been, for the years I've been making music, I've been using only 1. For the guitars, I don't own a guitar as yet, so I don't really use it much. So I'm just trying to set an example that don't go for the ones that tell you that we have 8 channel inputs, we have 8 what. No, you won't really use that unless you're looking to record a choir. But in most cases, you won't really need more than 2 inputs. So get you a 2 input sound card. You'll be good for years to come. And then after a sound card, a MIDI controller. And a MIDI controller, it's something like this. It doesn't really make any sound. Let me put this back. It doesn't really make any sound alone, but it does make sound when you connect it to your digital audio workstation and connect it to whatever plugin, then you can play with it. If you're looking to just produce beats, you're good. But if you're looking to record people in the future, then we can take the list further and say you also need a studio mic, preferably a condenser mic. Now, when it comes to mics, we have a dynamic mic and a condenser mic. A dynamic mic is usually used for podcasts, even live performance mics. It has that good bassy tone to it. Doesn't really take in the room temperature, the room ambience, when you're recording. So it's good for that, but it only takes or records whatever it's being said directly to it like that. So it's good for performances, it's good for podcasts and whatnot. But when you're recording studio vocals, I'd recommend that you get a condenser mic. There are many of them omnidirectional mics. The list is endless, but get you a good condenser mic. And with the mic, you also need to get a mic stand. You need to get yourself a shock mount. A shock mount, it's a small mini stand where you put the microphone in and it sort of absorbs vibrations that might occur when you hit the stand or you move around as you record. So it's very good. You need that. And you can also get yourself a pop filter. A pop filter, it's basically what filters out the plosive sounds like pop sounds when you record. It softens that up because once it's captured in the recording, it's very hard, if not impossible, to fully take it out or make it not worse. So get you a pop filter. And lastly, get yourself a reflection filter. A reflection filter, it's good, especially if you're starting out, and because for the most part, you're most likely to work in a studio environment or a basement that's not treated, doesn't have any acoustic treatment. So get you a reflection filter to minimize the reflection of your room whenever the vocal bounces around the walls as you record. And once you get that, I think you're pretty much good to start off. In fact, your studio is officially good. I think the last point I might emphasize or stress out is that don't skimp on your cable. I urge you, don't skimp on your cables. Cables are very important. Choose quality cables, not cheap quality that just breaks whenever you bend it. Not cables that won't be able to power up your instruments or your equipment properly. Choose ones that will last you for years. Usually, it's the type of cables that, because you have XLR cables, TRS, different ones. But when it comes to your XLR cables, choose the ones with coils around the edges so that whenever they bend, it won't damage the cable and whatnot. I'll try to put some pictures and visuals of the cables that I'm referring to. But otherwise, that's everything on the list. Hope this video was helpful. If it was, don't forget to like it, hit that subscribe button, comment below and let me know what you think of the video or any questions that you might have. I reply to my comments. So we are family out here. Thank you for watching. It's your boy Cgnature. Catch you next time. Peace.